Okay, well, time to go down and cultivate the muck. It's starting to need it. Surprisingly, the ragweed and everything's staying out, but there's a crap ton of yellow nutsedge down there, and that stuff's hard to kill. But, well, it's hard to kill with herbicide. I'll explain that in a little bit, but put the cultivator on the 1800 just so it's a little easier on fuel. So, but it's all greased up and we've been over it, so everything should be good to go. So I guess there's nothing else to do but head on down there. Okay, well, here we are. I'm actually gonna start 4 rows over, and I'll just hopefully kill whatever's in this set of 4 with the spray, because I don't want to get into the neighbor's corn. So yeah, but this field is mostly ragweed is the problem, and then the one down there is mostly yellow nutsedge. So this has actually grown up quite a bit just since I was down here the other day. But I did notice we got some frostbite the other night. That right there, that's frostbite. I don't think it's hurt too. I mean, it's definitely not good, but it's not hurt that bad. That's a new leaf right there, so that stuff's gonna come out of it. That guy's not dead yet. I think he'll be all right. And then it's got these clear spots in the, that's all frostbite. At first I thought I had a, because I came through here, I drove down through here the other day and noticed that the corn was looking kind of yellow. I was like, what the hell's going on here? And driving down here, I was looking around at all the other fields and they're all yellow too, and it's like, oh yeah, now that I see this, we got frostbite. Some of these guys might be dead. I don't know, time will tell. Hopefully most of it ought to snap out of it. Most of it looks pretty good. But was it Friday night? I think it was. We were down in the upper 30s, supposedly. Yeah. Some of this stuff got hit pretty good, it looks like. But anyway, I got my shield set, so it should be good. Should be able to just have at her, hopefully. Well, this field's done. I'm not too excited about all the frost damage. Basically, any spot that was low, which also correlates with any spot that had any of this damn ragweed in it. Basically, these 4 sets of rows right here are pretty much dead. About the first 20 rows off the property line and about halfway back to field have spots. They're not nearly as bad, but basically these 16 end rows that wrap all the way around the back of the house are dead. About the first 12 rows that run along the property line over there, about halfway back the field, are dead. I think they're dead. It might snap out of it, but it looks awful dead. And then there's just a spattering throughout, but the rest of the field actually looks pretty good. So I don't know, we'll just have to see what it looks like in another week. I don't think it's bad enough to warrant digging the planter back out and trying to replant it. I don't think it's that bad, but it's not that great. It sucks because I was down here Thursday before we had that cold spell, and I was looking at this. It's like, man, this is some good looking corn. This is probably the best looking, this ground down here is probably some of the best looking corn I had. Now it's probably some of the worst, but you'll have that. I'm trying not to stress about it too much. Need to see what it looks like in another week. That we got another couple chances of rain this week, and it's supposed to warm. We're supposed to get back up into the upper 70s, low 80s, and that ought to really snap this stuff out of it. But for right now, it looks like hell. But anyway, now I gotta go down and work on that other field, so best get after it. Get off and stretch for a minute. Leaning off to one side like that for that long kind of takes a toll on your back. But this stuff right here is what I was talking about, that yellow nutsedge. It's not a grass, it's not a broadleaf, it's just kind of it's a sedge. They're their own group. But they've got triangular shaped leaves, and when they get taller they get a really goofy looking seed head on them, but they'll get yay tall, and it's hard to kill because it has a really thick wax layer on the leaves that's very hard for herbicide to penetrate to do its job. So to kill it with a herbicide, you have to have a really good adjuvant program, and you have to pick the right herbicide. You want a really good systemic that'll do a good job of going through the plant once it does get through that wax coat. Contact herbicide really doesn't do shit for it because it can't get to the leaf, or it can't penetrate that wax layer very well. I think I'm about halfway done by the looks of it. It's probably about the middle. So I guess probably ought to get back after it. And we are finally done. That took a minute. 2.5 miles an hour. Third gear over, or third direct. About 1400 RPM. I probably could have went a little faster as tall as the corn is, but we're down here to do a decent job of cultivating, not to win races, so. And it definitely ain't no spray job, but it definitely knocked the weeds down significantly. And as long as my chemical shows up next weekend, should be able to get down here and spray it and take care of the rest of it. But it only took, I got down here about 10:30 and it's 6 o'clock now, so what's that, 7.5 hours? No. 6, 7, yeah, 7.5 hours for 21 acres. And that tells you why when you talk to all the old timers and they talk about the things that they did on the farm, generally their favorite thing to do is plowing. But damn near across the board, if you ask them what they hated the most, every single one of them will probably tell you cultivating. And generally they'll say the first pass of cultivating, because that's the one where you're crawling along. When the corn gets about knee high, you can be out here 5 miles an hour hauling ass because you're trying to throw dirt in the rows to cover up the weeds that are still in between the corn. But that first pass for the cultivator, whew, that's mind numbing. But, and I just did the math. I used just a tick over a 1/4 tank of fuel, which, if I remember right, that thing's a 26-gallon tank, so I used roughly 6.5 gallons of fuel. And if I remember right, when I bought the last load of diesel, it was like $2.96 a gallon. So if I use 6.5 gallon of diesel to cultivate 21 acres at $2.96 a gallon, that comes out to 91 cents an acre to cultivate. Tell me how cultivating is more expensive than spraying. Because I just got my spray program put together and I got the quotes for corn and beans, and they're both, one is 28 bucks an acre and the other one's 29 bucks an acre. I can't remember which is which. So you can make a lot of freaking passes with a cultivator and make before you make up for the price per acre of spraying. But you're never going to cover the acres in a day with a cultivator that you can cover with a sprayer. So but you got all the guys that are like, oh, cultivating, it's too expensive, it's tillage, and yada yada yada. And here that's less than $1 an acre. I just cultivated 21 acres. But anyway, I guess camera battery's about dead, so I probably had to get out of here. So, well, that's interesting. That's how you know this is muck. That car just drove by and I can feel the vibrations in the ground. Never noticed that before. But anyway, I guess that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.